How this garage turned Airbnb makes me $42,000 a year. So here's a story. Back in 2017, January 22nd to be exactly, of 2017, I purchased my beautiful mother a home. And I've always thought about leverage and house hacking, right? This is how I basically started doing real estate in 2012 when I started buying properties. And anytime I acquire a property, I would always ask myself, how do I make sure that I leverage the mortgage payment? Like, I don't want the entire mortgage payment to come out of pocket. So like when I bought my first property in 2012, it was a 4-bedroom property. I lived in the master. I rented the other 3 rooms, and those 3 rooms paid for the principal, interest, taxes, insurance, the entire mortgage payment, and the utilities. I was essentially living for free. And then 5 years later, my wife and I bought our very first property, and it was a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom property. We did the same thing, except here, rather than sharing the rooms, in that first property, I rented out those 3 rooms to long-term tenants. In the second property with my wife, at that point, we were getting into the Airbnb business, which was early in 2017. So what we did is we were able to divide the home in such a way where we turned it into a duplex, right? This is called a split home, ADU. It stands for accessory dwelling unit. So we created an entrance for that unit for the other rooms that we separated. And when we went through the main entrance of our home, it led us into, basically everything from the living room, dining room, kitchen, backyard, the master bedroom. And we were not sharing with the other tenants. The other side, we separated 3 rooms. The middle room, we converted into a kitchenette / living room. And the 2 rooms on the outside each had 2 queen beds. And then it had its own bathroom. And then, of course, they just parked in the street. And so we put that unit on Airbnb, hosting up to 8 people. And we told them, hey, there's no front yard, no backyard, no driveway. If you're looking for a place to be able to cook and sleep, this is going to be great, and you guys are going to save a ton of money. This property saved us $3,200 in mortgage payments for 3 years. So we saved over $100,000 in mortgage payments during those 3 years. So I'm sharing this just to share this concept of leverage and house hacking. So when I bought my mom this house just a few weeks later after we bought our house in early 2017, I also didn't want to have to pay the mortgage payment. So I also did a split home ADU on that property, just the way I described this one with my wife, and then boom, the property was mortgage payment free. I only ever had to make the first mortgage payment on my mom's house, and then after that, and the reason I paid the first mortgage payment is because it took about 30 days to do the conversion inside of my mom's house, and then that Airbnb pays for the mortgage. Now, my mom is widowed. My dad passed away a long time ago in 1999. And my mom's getting a little older. She's 65 years young now. And we wanted to convert the garage because, see, growing up, like, my mom always cooked and cleaned. So it was just perfect to have, 2 Airbnbs basically, attached to her home in a way where she could live for free, she could make some money, and she could clean. And, I wanted to just have her, stay active, because the reality is when people don't have a purpose and they're not active, they get older, right? That's just the truth. They get sick and, I don't want that to happen. So I'm like, hey, I need to keep my mom active, and cleaning is what she's an expert in. And these units are attached to her house, so this is perfect. So I told my mom my idea. I said, Mom, let's convert the garage into a ADU, into an accessory dwelling unit. We can actually get permits, and it'll bring in some cash flow, and you'll make some more money, and I'll make some more money too. And my mom was game. She's like, let's do it. Now, in order to do a garage conversion and turn it from a non-habitable unit into a habitable unit, you need to get permits. In order to get permits, you need to work with an architect / engineer that can create some actual plans, the structural plans, and exactly how it's going to look. That was about $5,000, and it took about 6 months just to get the permits. It took a really, really long time. Now, it may not take that long for you today, but back when we did this, I think this was in early 2019, that's how long it took. I then invested about $35,000 just in the labor. That was the cost. Just the labor was $35,000 to get this done. The materials were about $30,000. And then it was about $10,000 to furnish the entire property. So all in, this project was $75,000. Now I know you're wondering, you're like, Jorge, why was it $75,000 just for a garage in 2019? Here's what happened. If you could just imagine this. We have the garage, and then we have the main house on this side. But in between the main house and the garage, there was a unpermitted bedroom. And so I figured, you know what, why not knock down that bedroom, add it to the structural plans, and rebuild it with permits. And now I'll have a bedroom outside and a bedroom inside the garage, and it'll be a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 600 square foot house. So essentially, I built a brand new house for $75,000, which in California is amazing. So once the property was built, of course, I put it on Airbnb. And for the last couple years, this property has averaged about $3,500 a month on Airbnb. Now, just for comparison, had I had this property as a long-term rental, it would be generating about $1,500 a month. Again, $1,500 a month. On Airbnb, it's making $3,500 a month. So that's more than double. $3,500 a month is $42,000 a year. Now, if we actually take the $42,000 and we divide that into my total cost of the project of $75,000, we get a 56% ROI. That means that in the first year, I got 56% of my money back. Okay, 56% of my investment back. And again, 56% of $75,000 is $42,000. So in the first year, I made $42,000 back. The second year, I got the remainder of my initial investment back. Now, I don't know about you guys, but growing up, people always said, money doesn't grow on trees. And that is totally not true. Money does grow on trees if you learn how to plant money seeds. I just proved to you that money does grow on trees. Why? I got all of my $75,000 back. And guess what? I am now making $3,500 a month in profit, and I have no money in that project. And that's going to be for the rest of my life, and then for the rest of my kids' lives. So point is, money does grow on trees if you learn how to plant money seeds. By the way, guys, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. And this is what I love about real estate, guys, is that you can go from working hard for money to making money work hard for you. You know, so many of us are taught, go to school, get a job, get into debt that you can never get rid of, even if you file for bankruptcy. I'm talking about college debt. And a lot of people, you know, spend $50,000 to go to school to then start at a $50,000 a year job. And by the time they pay taxes on that money, they only walk away with like $30,000. So I'd rather just work for myself, do real estate deals, do Airbnb, and never have to work for anybody else. I can go on vacations with my beautiful family as often as we want, where we want, with whom we want, and truly have time freedom. And that's probably the biggest takeaway from this video, guys, is that the only way you could have time freedom is to work for yourself. Now, yes, it's going to take, you know, taking chances and taking risk, but focus on progress, not perfection. Do what you can with what you have where you are. Guys, make sure you like this video. I really appreciate it. And check out one of my other videos here before you guys go anywhere. And I'll see you guys on the other video. Peace.